Hello, lovely people. And once again, welcome to Builder's Guide channel. Hello, lovely people. I welcome you to the Builder's Guide channel. In today's episode, we will talk about the pros and cons of moving into your new home in Ghana. This topic will reveal to us whether to build or buy our own home. We will further learn about some challenges we are likely to face when we move into our new home. Of course, we are not going to just share the challenges but also suggest to you some solutions and recommendations that will help you surmount these challenges. Kindly subscribe to our page and hit on the notification bell to receive our weekly update of all our latest videos. Shall we begin, please? Owning a home is everyone's dream, regardless of one's geographical location or race. In developing countries like Ghana, where inequalities are high and the housing deficit remains wide, it is considered a great achievement to live in one's own home, be it a willed property, a family home, or self-acquired apartment. Growing up, our parents often encouraged us to study hard in school, get a good job, buy a nice car, and build our own houses. This makes owning a home one of the major standards of measurement for a successful life. This metric has for decades put enormous pressure on everyone as they toil to own a home. Nonetheless, the factors for home ownership have changed with time. It is not much about feeling successful in life any longer, but simply an economic decision. People are pursuing home ownership to avoid the ever skyrocketing rental charges, especially in urban centers. Besides, newly built homes are comfortable and attractive. The working middle class Ghanaians are concerned about the possibility of losing one's jobs and not being able to pay the neck-breaking rent, leaving behind a legacy or properties for their children to inherit, and the joy of owning their space and saving themselves from the cyclical stress from landlords or landladies. There's also the argument about whether to build or buy your own home. I think all the pros and cons depend on the individual's capacity. Usually, making an outright payment depends on the type of job one does and the income you earn. Apart from that, our families living abroad mostly stand in a better position to pay outright for a house, largely because of higher earnings and exchange rate advantage. Only a few people in good corporate entities and private folks can likely meet the requirement for a mortgage home in Ghana. The rest, however, have no choice but to resort to going through the stress of building from scratch, which can take years to complete. Now, let's look at the housing deficit in Ghana. The housing deficit in Ghana currently exceeds 1.8 million according to government records. This is a reduction of about 33% from 2.8 million in 2010 to 1.8 million in 2021, according to the Ghana Statistical Service. The increase, according to research, is partly attributable to the real estate boom and a 72.8% increase in residential structures in the period. Despite the upward trends or the gains made over the years, there's still a yawning gap to be filled. The current daily minimum wage in Ghana in 2023 stands at 14.88 Ghana cedis, making it difficult for the average Ghanaian to be able to rent a decent place of abode. Talk less of affording to buy an average home or build one. Now, we are going to look at mortgage or housing financing. In Ghana today, individuals in the middle income bracket or public sector workers receive monthly incomes of between 1,619, which is around $141, to 22,925 Ghana cedis, which is also close to about $1,994. Unfortunately, the highest average is more than 14 times the average salary of workers on the payroll at the bottom. And this is according to research titled Ghana 2022 Earnings Inequality in Public Sector, which was published in January 2023. This means only a few workers fall within the highest average earners bracket, leaving the remaining in the lowest payroll at the bottom. However, such meager salaries are usually inadequate in securing home mortgage loans, taking into consideration the cost of living, the average household size, and the number of dependents. Other issues such as the high rate of inflation, the high interest rates, and the demand for huge income payments, often around 20%, make home mortgage expensive and unattractive for the majority of people. Now, let's look at the option of building your own home. Building a home from scratch can even be a complicated task for the ordinary worker who may not have any clue on how to commence, the right materials to use, the correct professionals to engage, among others. The average person may fall on referrals from friends to be able to contract an architect and the artisans to work on their project. Some benefits of building your own home include the fact that it affords you an opportunity to move into the property before full completion of the project, and that saves you rental money. Additionally, building your own home is cheaper eventually than buying a property directly from a real estate company or a developer. More so, you can fully customize your new home to suit your specific needs and style, including determining the required number of rooms, land size, the layout, the interior designs, and the garden space. You can manage your expenses and the resources to ensure you stay within the required budget. Moreover, less maintenance is required in the beginning because everything will obviously be brand new and in perfect condition. There are several hurdles that one would have to go through before and after putting up a building. Now let's look at the before. First off, one major issue that may bedevil any new builder in Ghana is inconvenient location. The city is choked and has no space for new development. Therefore, one would have no option than to move to the outskirts of town or to less useful parts of the city, away from schools, shopping centers, or malls, health facilities, and other social amenities like water and good roads. Another important thing is the acquisition of permit. It will cost between 3,500 to 25,000 or more to secure a permit for a typical 3-bedroom residential building, depending on the demography of the area, not to mention the cost of fire and soil testing and other related expenses. Conversely, imagine the stress the ordinary working class goes through in a week from Monday to Friday. These individuals only have Saturday and Sunday to rest, and yet one must avoid resting to monitor workers at your building site, help or pay for materials to be conveyed to the site, provide casual workers with meals or tips sometimes, and check every single detail of the project. Another challenge is the stress of dealing with landlords due to land ownership challenges in Ghana and paying for digging fees, which is illegal payments made for the youth of the area. Landlords can stress you to the point where you can abandon the project if you are not strong-hearted. Others include how to convey materials like sand, stones, iron rods, water, and other items such as roofing sheets, doors, tiles, cables, and how to secure these items. The vehicles which convey these items can break down and leave your items midway. There are high rates of theft on these relatively new sites, and the items could be stolen if not properly secured. Inflated fees and the cost of materials are another set of challenges. These artisans take advantage of the ordinary owners of such properties who have little or no knowledge of construction and inflate their fees and the cost of materials, and sometimes overcharge if you don't engage the right quantity surveyors and engineers to provide you with the quantities. One other major hurdle is how to obtain land title certificate. These legalities can also be stressful when you don't engage the appropriate people. The landowners would usually hand over only the indentures to you. It, however, behoves the new owner or landowner to continue with the rest of the documentation by going ahead to register the land. Now, let's look at the hurdles after the property has been completed. After the project has been completed and ready to accommodate the owner, you may have to deal with the issue of how to connect water and electricity to your new home. This can take weeks, and if you are not lucky, months and even years, especially in the case of water. According to the water and electricity companies, some areas are not mapped for their services to be deployed there. This means that you have the option of connecting to an alternative energy source, be it solar or a generator. For water, you have the option of a borehole, and whichever option you choose for both water and power will cost you an arm and leg. Buying water weekly is equally expensive, but you may not have an option if you want to move into a new home. Access to a good school. One is spoiled for choice when it comes to access to good schools in the cities as compared to the options in less developed towns or communities. This leaves settlers in new areas with few options when it comes to good schools, thus making parents who value quality education take their wards to distant places where they can find good schools. This isn't only stressful due to the daily commute to and from school, but it also increases cost. The next point is staying in long traffic. Living in the outskirts of town comes with staying in unbearable gridlock to and fro from work, whether you are driving your own car or boarding Ghana's unreliable public transport system known locally as Trotro. Your daily commute may become longer and more difficult. It gives the children a lot of stress as they have to wake up early and get ready for school. It is expensive and risky because parents will have no option but to engage personal drivers to pick the kids up after school. These drivers, depending on the distance, can charge not less than 100 cedis a day. Now, let's look at access to the internet and calls. With the advent of technology, one cannot help but have access to the internet either to continue with the day's work or for entertainment. The kids also sometimes need the internet to do their assignment at home. Unfortunately, some new areas struggle to get stable connectivity to make calls as well as get internet access. Bad roads. Access routes to the houses are mostly in a bad state, making it difficult to ply the road with the slightest rainfall. It also speeds up the maintenance routine of vehicles due to the frequent damage caused to these cars. Settlers of these areas sometimes contribute to fixing the roads themselves by buying laterites, gravel in large quantities and engaging casual workers or laborers to fix the roads. Access to shopping centers or markets. Groceries and other household items can be highly expensive in these areas due to scarcity. It could also be the cost of transporting these items from bigger market centers by these shop owners to their respective shops. New settlers ought to strategize to buy their groceries and other items in bulk periodically from the bigger shopping centers to save cost. Now let's look at security and theft. Although security is not even assured in the well-developed areas, security in the new areas is very porous and fragile. You really would have to relate well with your neighbors and the boys in the neighborhood so as not to attract any anger from them. Give the boys tips periodically to be in their good books. The above issues, however, are not to dissuade anyone from building or owning their home, but to bring to light these pertinent issues and help prepare the minds of individuals who are now building and those who are about to take the decision of building. Nevertheless, some people who have been able to build may become sad, excited, or even emotional when moving to a new area. Others may be indecisive or fear the unknown. Many others may be reluctant since you have become so familiar with staying in your current location, and thus thinking about moving to a new place can be frightening. I think the answer to this is our inclination. Wherever you go, be work or your way of life, you have to decide that you will make the most of it and not look backwards. There will be challenges as enumerated above, but if you complain and yearn for what you had in your previous house, you would be miserable. If you enjoy your new home, new experiences, friends, food, and surroundings, you'll be content. It's really up to you because you control your life and your perceptions. So make your best bet. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel if you like what you just watched. Also hit on the notification bell to receive weekly updates of all our latest videos. See you in our next video. Bye.